high school in Lagodi at St. John's High School. And I graduated in 1960, and we had the theme, we're not shifty, we're just nifty, we're the class of 1960. We were awesome.
Were you?
We had 44 kids, and we were just awesome.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.
There were a lot of teachers in my family, and it's something that I probably always considered, but I had an outstanding 7th grade teacher that really kind of inspired me to become a teacher, and I credit her with giving me the motivation maybe to do that. I kind of got in, I've squirmed around a lot in classes and stuff, and this one teacher was very understanding, and I knew that she cared what happened to me, and I thought, well, you know, if she can handle somebody like me, I can probably handle kids when I go.
Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Yes, I did. I was fortunate enough to graduate from school in 3 years, and I came back to Lagodi, and my dad at the time, or my dad owned the bowling alley at the time, and I worked for him, and then there was a teacher at St. John's High School that was going to have to miss the last 10 weeks of school, so I subbed for that person toward the end of the school year, and then that fall I started in the 7th and 8th grade at St. John's. So I taught in the very same building, in the same room where I'd gone to school all my life.
Till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones.
In social studies, back years ago, you could get a license in all the social studies by taking a 60-hour, or I think it may be 60-hour special instead of a 40-hour major. So I'm qualified to teach psychology, economics, sociology, government, current issues, Indiana studies, geography, religion, believe it or not, and things like that. So I've taught them all. I've taught all the way down to the 5th grade, taught 5th and 6th grade, I taught 7th and 8th grade, and then I've been up here at the high school since the fall of 1973.
Okay, what?
Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you.
To my recollection, I've been junior high volleyball coach, JV volleyball coach, varsity volleyball coach. I've been the academic team sponsor for social studies. I was sponsor of the yearbook one year, or about 10 years, really. Cadet teaching I was sponsor for, odds and ends like that. I worked for the athletic department one semester. I'm really kind of partial to volleyball. It's always been my favorite sport. I've always enjoyed it, and I did it for about 10 years altogether with junior high and high school. So I think volleyball is probably my favorite.
Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
I don't know. I've always enjoyed my job. I've taught 34 years, and I think I'm fortunate enough that I've always enjoyed working here. And I think working in Lagodi had its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages, I knew all the people, and disadvantages, maybe I knew some better than what would made it convenient to have them in a classroom. But I taught my 4 nephews. I was real proud of that. I taught my little brother. And I taught a lot of people, a lot of kids that I've taught. This year I have a student in my class who is the daughter of the first class, of one of the people in the first class I taught. She was in the 7th grade, and now her daughter's a senior. So I had her at the first of my teaching, and then the daughter at the end. I don't know what I like best about it. I think I like Lagodi. I like the stuff Lagodi does, and it's got good school spirit. It's got a good community. Kids are likable and easy to get along with, and we have a wide variety, and I'm just real impressed with Lagodi itself. To teach in larger schools, but I decided that I'm more of a country type person, and I don't like being in cities, and I know I wouldn't like living in cities, and I knew that I would have to probably do that, but no, I don't think I would want to. I think I like Lagodi.
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet.
High students different from high school students?
Oh my. They all have problems, but they're just on a different level. The little kids are still worried about how to grow up, and the big kids, the seniors, have more or less grown up, but their problems are a lot more serious. And I can remember thinking when I first became a teacher that one of the things I wanted to do was to help kids solve problems. And I thought that I could solve them all, but I can't. And that was the hardest thing for me to accept, that there are things that I can't do anything about. But I made a vow that I would try every day to do something to help somebody, and I've tried to do that.
Others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you.
The major change is discipline. When I first started teaching, I taught a lot like the way I was taught, and the discipline was very strict. You had to sit quietly, you had to move from place to place quietly, you had to really have all your materials organized and so on. And we've sort of gotten away from that, but I don't blame the kids for that. I think kids kind of get a bad rap today. They get blamed for a lot of things that they've just been taught to do. And whether it comes from the parents or grandparents or teachers or whatever, things are just a lot different, and I don't think the kind of discipline that I had would be appropriate today. I think it was appropriate for when I was younger, but I don't think it's appropriate now. So I think one of my biggest jobs was to try to change as times changed. And if I tried to do today what I did my first 2 or 3 years teaching, everybody would be miserable, including myself, because I would be forcing myself to do something I didn't believe in anymore.
Trails to you, keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
I remember in a class in college, we had a professor who asked us to name the teacher that we remember the most. And we did that, and then we had to write an essay on why that teacher was the most memorable to us. And it was, once again, the 7th grade teacher that I talked about. And in analyzing that, I think probably the thing about her that I liked the most was I felt like she cared about what happened to me. And I know sometimes kids get aggravated when I talk to them about this issue or that issue, and I try to impress on them that I really care what happens to them. And I do. And I worry about them when they leave here. I try to prepare them for what they're going to face when they go on the outside, but I want them to know that I care. And it's really kind of interesting to go to the grocery store or go shopping someplace and run into somebody that you had in class 10 years ago, and they'll come up to you and say, "Hey, thanks for doing this," or "Thanks for doing that." And I said, "Well, now do you understand?" And they do, and it really makes you feel good. It makes you feel like what you were trying to do was worthwhile.
Till we meet again.
Well, a lot of things. First of all, I think our school has come up with a tremendous package for retiring teachers. I think they have decided that, for whatever reason, they would encourage older teachers to retire. I can understand that. They'd probably want some new, fresh people in here. And they're paying us a fairly decent salary these days, so they can get somebody at a cheaper rate than they could pay me. And I have a lot of things I want to do yet. All those books that I haven't read yet, I want to read. all those horses I haven't seen yet, I want to see, and I want to deal with them, and I have so many things to do. I have genealogy to work on. I have cross stitch. I have a whole new generation of great nieces and nephews that I have to spoil yet, and I haven't had a chance to do that. So I don't know. I probably won't stop working completely, but I will just change what I do a little bit.
So that's what you think you're going to retire?
Yeah, I'm really going to try to work a lot on my horses. I've built up my horses over the last 5 years in the hopes that I'm going to be able to turn a profit maybe with what I'm doing. And I really enjoy horses and being outdoors, and I don't enjoy getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's one thing. Somebody said, well, you'll get up at the same time when you're retired. And I said, absolutely not. 5 o'clock is not going to see me getting out of bed. I'm going to sleep till at least 7 or 7:30.
We're going to miss free days on Tuesdays.
This note's about to say.
Starting on your cars after school.
What is the one thing you will miss most about Miss A?
I'll miss her calling me Mikey, and all the times we talk in the cafeteria or the teacher's lounge about sports or life in general. Her knowledge about everyday life, how she treats people the same. She's a very good educator. I remember when she taught me when I was in 6th grade, learned a valuable lesson about life that year because of the Board of Education that she used on me one day during recess. But I think people are going to miss her and the way she handles the students, because I think she treats everybody fairly. And have a nice retirement, Miss A.